And our first presenter is Miss Cassidy Earle. She is the teacher librarian at Austin Elementary School. She is one of our rock stars when it comes to DeKalb County School District's Educational Media Department, and we are excited to hear what she has to offer today regarding Beanstack. At this time, I am going to turn it over to Cassidy. And welcome, Cassidy. You can share any other information about yourself. And it is now turned over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Cassidy. It's been a while since I've done this whole dual device, like sharing screen virtual meeting. So if I start glitching or anything, just let me know. I can turn off my camera and try to save some internet a little bit. So it's my third year in DeKalb and my third year as a teacher librarian, as a media specialist. I was a middle school math teacher for 4 years before, so kind of about me. But I just wanted to share about Beanstack, about keeping it simple and how you don't have to be the expert on it and know everything about it before you start implementing it in your classrooms. And if you have questions along the way or comments, feel free to add them in the chat, and I can see the chat so I can answer them as I go or at the end if we have time. So just stop me if you have any questions. Um, Go slow with this. And I found one teacher on one grade level that was willing to work with me. I found a fifth grade ELA teacher, and I started there before I even learned the ins and outs of the features. I knew if I implement it with fifth grade, they're going to learn things for me and be my little guinea pigs and help me along the way. Um, I created one challenge for this teacher to use in her homeroom. So it was not even a school-wide challenge. Started very small with one grade level. And then I slowly started getting other teachers on board. We've been very short-staffed, as I'm sure everyone is. And so like with specials, sorry, also, Fernbank is doing a field trip on robots and NASA in the media center right now. So if you can hear a robot talking, I don't know if you can, but that's what's going on in the media center. Um, so like when teachers would be missing planning. So we had a week where specials had to be pulled to cover homeroom teachers for an entire week. And so I would go into teachers' classrooms that were missing planning and log in as a student on their active board and show the kids how to do Beanstack and gave the teacher like 20 minutes of planning and was able to let the kids explore it. Because I think the best thing you can do is to let the kids explore Beanstack. And now, just now, I'm learning all the ins and outs and little details of it. So this was a independent reading kind of tracker. We were gonna, the fifth grade ELA teacher and I made back in May, and we were gonna do it on paper. This is a template from the Book Wrangler. We got off Teachers Pay Teachers. I also use these passport templates to give kids so they can track the series in the book. Like I have them for popular series in the library so they can keep up with what series they've read and which books in the series they've read. But so we were going to do this anyway on paper. But then when I started learning about Beanstack, I was like, oh, that's going to be so much easier because we were going to have like a fancy little stamp, and the kids were either going to have to write something or tell us about the book to prove they've read it or take a little quiz and then us stamp it. And that was going to be a giant headache. Like it would have been really cool, but Beanstack does all of this for us. Now, this is a challenge that I created under my name because this teacher's going out on maternity leave. And so from December to February, so I want to keep it going. So she does not have access to the reports. And I'm going to show you all that in a minute. But I don't know if there's a feature I'm missing where you can add a co-teacher to a challenge. If that is something I'm missing, then please tell me if somebody knows. I have not seen that yet, and I do think that's a feature we need so that like I could add a co-teacher, another staff member in my building on a challenge, and we could both access the reports. I would love to see that.
I'm
Um,
taking note of that, Cassidy, and I will send
yes,
an
thank
email
you.
to Elizabeth. I don't know if it's possible, but like the teachers have a different status than we do, so I'm not
Okay.
sure if we could change that, but I will find out for you.
Yes, thank you. Because I do now you can do automated reports, so it runs the report for me. I don't have to think about it. I just have to download it as Excel and email it to her. We have a shared OneDrive folder. I just drop it in. But in the challenge, they're reading 4 books each quarter: graphic novel, 9/11, the social studies novels tie into the social studies curriculum, and those are her lit circle novels. So there's 3 different levels of that novel going on in her classroom. A realistic fiction and a science fiction. We actually chose science fiction, realistic, and graphic because those tie into a lot of the Reading Bowl books this year, which we want the 5th graders reading. Once they read each of these, they go into Beanstack, which I'm going to show you right now, and they actually log their reading in Beanstack. They have to answer questions about the book to prove they've read it, and then they get a little badge. And we are going to do prizes. So in October, we're going to have a tailgate themed reward for everyone who's read all 4. They can wear their favorite sports team shirts and then come get a little bag of popcorn in the media center on that morning. So this is what your challenge page looks like. If you have not looked at the challenge templates, this is where I would start everything. I only have 2 challenges going with my school. One is to log minutes, log reading, and the other is to log genres. I'm not counting the little passport challenge because that's just one homeroom, and not everybody can see that. You can change who sees the challenges. So I have a genre challenge because my library is genrefied. I just did that last year, and I want them to be able to practice the genres because it's still new. And then I have one more challenge where they can log how many minutes they've read. So you would go to templates. I don't really see the need to start from scratch with all these templates. Like I would always start with a template. And I'm going to use this template. I'll just walk you through how I created a challenge and how I adapted this one to make the one for the 5th grade ELA teacher and I. You name it, your description. And the thing I like about Beanstack is when you're making these, it'll give you little yellow messages, places that says, oh, you should click this setting, and this is what this setting does. So it kind of explains it. You could make it just for a certain grade, so it only shows up for those students. Start and stop time, disable alternative challenges because unless you only want them to be in one challenge, like this option gives them the opportunity to be in more than one challenge. You have to choose what they're going to log. In the genre, they have to do activities. That proves they've read the book. Activities prove they've read the book. It's like questions they have to answer. You could also link to external things, which I'm going to show you. My challenge for the minutes, like how many minutes have you read? Every 60 minutes they read, they get a badge. Or maybe it's every 30 minutes they read, they get a badge. So that challenge is a logging minutes challenge. So we're doing an activities challenge for this. And look at all the badges that are already there. But let's say I don't really, maybe I don't want them to have traditional literature. So I could remove that. And then these all have activities. If we want to look at what those are, you can edit it. You put your title for the badge, the description. I saw Matthew Osborne made a really awesome one about the Reading Bowl tryouts. Like he made his own badge and you can upload that here. And okay, so you can change the badge. Like if I wanted to make this like my own, so like let's say sports fiction. If I wanted to add that, I would just write sports. You can actually, if you change the badge, there are so many. So whatever you want your badge to be, if I want sports, you search a keyword and there is a badge for sports. So there are a lot of pre-made badges in here. Is this badge active? Yes. And look at this tells you what to do with the settings. Like, so you don't have to guess. And reward. I do a reward. My reward says library reward. It's really vague because it's basically my library treasure box. And every time they get a badge, they get another little raffle ticket into my treasure box. And every quarter I run that. And I just did that yesterday, so I'll show you. Save, and then these are the activities. It still says biography, but read a biography. What did you choose? What is one question you'd like to ask the author after reading? What was your favorite part of the book? So first off, I can edit these since I said read a sports fiction. right? I changed my badge. And you can link to something external. So my understanding is you could link to a little Google form or a quiz or something that links to Canvas to check for understanding, a little quiz game. You could link to something external. The kids would have to do that activity to prove they've read the book. And these questions were already on there. Like you can make your own from scratch, but a lot of them are already on there, which is awesome. So I just tweaked that. You could also create your own and you go through and all these activities about mystery, all of that is already there. The students have to answer those questions in order to get the badge. Um, I want my badges to earn tickets. Every time they get a badge, they earn a ticket. And that ticket is literally just says library reward. And you can run a drawing in Beanstack and they get to come to my whatever treasure box. And I have like lots of books. Hold on. Individual pictures. Okay, last call for yearbook pictures is what that was. Sorry about that. And you can decide if you want your challenge to require every badge to finish it or just some of the badges to finish the challenge. So I made that challenge. I'll show you what it looks like from a student's perspective in just a second. On the drawings, this is the real one I did. You can create a drawing, quarter one Beanstack participation drawing. Any student that logged minutes, wrote book reviews, or participated in my challenge was able to be entered to the drawing. You click run. I already clicked run, so just rerun. And these are I chose 10. I chose 10 winners, and you can say how many winners you want. And I'm actually going to let these 10 come and get their prize on Friday. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow. So they'll be really excited to know that they won. Those are the students that were qualified in the challenge. So these students have been logging reading minutes or doing one of my 2 challenges that I have. I did not include the 5th grade challenge in this because that's just for a homeroom teacher to kind of do. The other thing I was going to show you is this is what the students rewards is what the students earn. I mean, you could be very specific with your reward. I just didn't want to commit to something specific. So I called my reward library reward. And that is what students earn. And so that's what those 10 students are going to get. They're going to get a library reward. It's just my fidget spinners and all my little things that I collect. On several pages, you can view reader experience. So I did want to show you that. I'm keeping an eye on my time. I have 3 minutes left. And I went into teachers' classrooms and 2nd through 5th grade, if you're wondering for elementary school, 2nd grade still right on the line of how much of this they can do on their own, but that's what I started with. And I logged in as a student on the board and I just played around with it and showed them different features. I always go back to log reading and activities in this top left corner. That's where you want to go for everything. The big thing is if you have challenges you want them to join, do that first. Like when you first log in, let's join all the challenges you're interested in. Remember, not everybody will see all these because it's based on grade level. So we click on a challenge, we join it, and then once you're joined in all the challenges, all you have to do when you log on to Beanstack through Clever is click log reading and activities. And the teachers love the reading timer. So if you have teachers that do independent reading, they literally can just start a timer and read, which is awesome. And then it keeps up. They log their reading. And if they're in my challenge to log their reading, they get a badge every time they do that. And then you can also log activities. This is where my genre challenge and my passport challenge for the 5th grade ELA teachers located. If you click complete an activity, oh, I just finished my science fiction novel. Read a science fiction book. What did you choose? Name an element of the story that could possibly happen in real life one day. Would the outcome be good, bad, or a mix of both? What was your favorite part of the book? Remember, I didn't even write those questions. Those came with Beanstack in the challenge template already. And there is a report with all of this information. Let's Content is where my book reviews are. Look, I have all these pending. I have them pending. I have to read them first. I'm on part 3. And some of them I reject because they just say hello or an emoji because they're trying to get tickets into uh they're trying to get tickets. So there's a lot of reviews I have to look at. Under reports, this one is unique text box activity responses. You can do it by challenge. 5th grade. This is the one from the 5th grade ELA teacher. And I actually have a scheduled report every Friday at 1 o'clock. It sends me all the responses, and I just send that to the teacher. Um, and these are the answers to all of their questions, all their badges. You can sort it as an Excel and get rid of some of the columns. So that is what I use. There's a lot of good reports. Some of them you actually can't tell that much what it is from the title. You kind of have to look at the report to see what it is. Though I know I talked really fast, I only had 15 minutes. Is there, oh, there's my timer. Do you guys have any other questions for me?
And I posted in the chat area so that you know why I said that Cassidy is a rock star. Um, Cassidy's library media program at Austin Elementary School was recognized this year statewide. She is the 2022 Judy Saratella Exemplary Library Media Program of the Year. So she is a truly a rock star. And if you have any questions, if you could post them in the chat, and then Cassidy will be monitoring any questions that you ask in the
And can
chat.
I
Yes,
say
yes,
one
go
thing? I was
ahead.
gonna say,
Mhm.
when the application comes out for that, I'm going to send it to you guys because I think it should stay in DeKalb because everyone in this district everyone could win this award. Everyone does amazing things. So I will send you all the information and really encourage you to apply, and you can talk to me about the application if you're interested.
Thank you, Cassidy, for sharing that because we definitely want to keep it in the cab. We've 2 years ago we had our um, a library media specialist of the year that came out of the cab for the state of Georgia. And I would like to see more of us apply for the exemplary library media program. So thank you tremendously.